Welcome back to Afternoon Express, where we are celebrating Taco Tuesday. Now, it is Taco Tuesday, and we're serving up this layered taco pie that is perfect for sharing with your friends and family. That's exactly who I've got on deck. They're not just my colleagues. These are my brothers in arms, Chef Jay and Chef Charles. Show us how. What do we need?
Oh, well, I'm going to start, with the filling because that's going to take a little bit of time. So back onto a high heat with a little bit of oil. And what we're going to do is the mince. That's going to be your sort of filling that you want to pack lots of flavour into it. So this is sort of what's going to make up the body of your whole dish, because remember that taco bean, the vessel part, we have a slightly different way of doing the vessel today. But what we're going to do is get your onions into here. Now, remember early on, don't put too much in a pan. So I'm actually going to show you doing this in 2 batches.
Okay.
So I'm going to start with the onion. I'm going to start with half. I'm going to sort of fry that off a little, then half the mince into there. Again, because I want a nice high heat, I want to cook it quickly, because far too often we cook mince and guess what all comes to the surface? Liquid, you get to that sort of grey kind of colour. Well, to make sure you don't get grey mince, do half the onion, half the mince as a batch, cook it, and then put it to one side, and then do the next batch. And let me tell you, it will save you half the amount of time.
Interesting that you say that, because at the end of the day, we think that by throwing everything in the pan all at once, that's what gets the job done quicker.
Where does this come from usually? From the fridge? I mean, let's face it, we're not all very diligent, including myself, to take out the meat an hour, 2 hours before you actually cook. Well, not just to defrost, but just to take it out from the fridge, let alone, coming out of the freezer. So, we must take it out in advance if you really want to be, one step ahead. Okay. Let it come to room temperature for an hour and then cook. But usually we cook it when it's still cold, so it's just going to take so much longer. Drop the temperature too low, and then the time it gets up, you're going to be boiling water first before you're going to be boiling
It's a mess, my darling. It's a mess. Now, this is very reminiscent to me, not only of a taco pie, but it also kind of looks like a lasagna.
Girl, so we, earlier on in the show, you two were, coming for me for not having a big enough portion. Wow, this is a South African style taco.
Good on you.
So I came through, and we've got the master baker in the kitchen today.
Yes.
We've got a cake tin, but we're not making cake today. We are making a taco pie. So I've just got one of the flour tortillas at the base. I'm going to add some more mince, some of the mince that we've made earlier.
And that's cooled down mince.
It's cooled down. Okay. So the idea is to probably assemble this cool. And that's great because you can assemble this ahead of time, and closer to when you are hosting guests, you can just pop it into the oven to bake. So great for party prep. Right, so we're going to go in with a little bit of enchilada sauce. Listen, if you can't find enchilada sauce, you can use any kind of tomato-based sauce. You could go in with chakalaka if you're going all the way, local. So we're going to go in with the enchilada sauce, a sprinkling of cheese, any kind of layered sort of meal. You need that cheese, and that's going to help bind the layers of the tortilla. So make sure you get in there with a good amount of cheese. We've also got some refried beans, which is also quite a Mexican ingredient. It's basically just double fried. And again, you could use whatever you have at your disposal.
Okay. Oh, absolutely. I think it's one of those dishes you can really put just about everything and anything, any bit of leftover from the night before, any bit of vegetables, get it in there. You don't have to follow everything dead right, so be flexible, but think of those layers. You're wanting something that's got the body, something that's got the vessel, you want that wonderful cheesiness, you want that wonderful sort of freshness from the salsa as well. So, really build up all those beautiful layers and do it correctly, because it makes such a difference.
And a good way to use leftover food as well. If you have leftover mince, throw it in here, and I've just done a 2-layer here. You could go wild, you could really go wild. Bit of cheese at the top, into the oven at 180 for about 20 to 25 minutes.
Okay.
And it's ready to eat.
Now, in front of us, it is a taco pie, but we have also created individual little taco bites so that you can have a taste. Let me know.
You can also chef on us, doing a little morsel of it as we go.
Yes. I think that tacos are perfect for like canapé options.
Absolutely.
Lovely starter option for people to enjoy. So whether you want to have a family style, like how we prepared here, and make an entire pie, all these little bite-sized portions, it's all good, baby.
I mean, what a filling. I mean, we all make mince, we all love a bolognese. I mean, if you're really making a bolognese, use that. I mean, that's how versatile something like this can be. But it really goes down to me. Put it in your pan, I mean, go away for a little bit, and then
chill.
Sort of chill, absolutely. And then come back to it. Don't be sitting there, stirring all the time. You're going to break it up from time to time. But that's going to cook a lot quicker. That we're going to pop to the side, and we're done.
I'm one of those that I'm always here. I'm always, I cannot leave a pot and a pan alone. So thank you for telling me that it actually does make a difference.
Well, because all you're doing is you're folding things back in and you're basically creating steam. Steamers.
Water.
There we go.
It is a masterclass. We are learning. It's also so lovely that these foods and these ingredients seem heavy, but they really are so nice and fresh on the palate. So if you would like to try this at home, simply head over to afternoonexpress.co.za. Now we've got one more sweet treat coming your way.